Okay. Hello. I am Mordency's goddaughter. Hello. So I am currently working on a project of homebrewing a whole lot of different DSs. I haven't made my way to any Wii consoles yet. But I'm working with a lot of like used consoles secondhand. And I'm thinking about like turning them over for a profit after um, jailbreaking them. But I'm running into a lot of stripped screws, a lot of just issues when it comes to the millions and millions of screws Nintendo puts in their systems. Um, I was wondering if anyone has any ideas
Joe is the
on
console
Joe is the
man.
console man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, first of all, the Nintendo 3DS or the Nintendo DS, it's so delicate on the inside, way more delicate than I am. And I've tried a couple of times on those, and I mean, I will break the ribbon connectors, not the ribbons themselves, but the connectors for the ribbons. And so I quit working on those a while ago. But they are fun to like soft mod and um, emulate all the different things on. But yeah, when it comes to like repairability on those, I do know that with the screws, in order not to strip them out, you have to be very careful on the way in, not to over tighten one. That's an important one. And the next one is when you're first starting to screw it in, back it up slow, line it up in position, back it up slowly till you hear a little click or feel a little click of where it drops, and then move it forward slowly. And that should help prevent some of the plastic stripping that you're experiencing. And then if you do end up with a stripped screw, very, very lightly the hole on the receiver side, just a small amount of super glue, and then you screw it in while it's still wet, and then you hold it there and give it a little bit of time to cure, and then don't touch it for 24 hours. It will still unscrew, and that should help take care of a lot of the stripping that had previously happened.
I was actually thinking super glue. So I'm glad to hear that that is a legitimate method. um, Now what would you use a screwdriver? Um,
Yeah, yeah, there isn't a whole lot of other choice there. Uh, just like just one of the multi sets that comes with all the different bits. The what is it? Quarter-inch drive. They work really well. That's really your only option.
okay. Yeah, because we're killing gnats currently. So I've got this DS where the Joy-Con, after so much use, it's literally the rubber has crumbled, fallen inside, and made it. First of all, there's no more rubber anymore. Second of all, the rubber that is there is on the inside, making it feel really gross.
Right.
There's a lot of like pushback when you're moving it, which is not satisfying. So I am, yeah, I'm running into like, God, these screws are so tiny.
Yes.
So I will do that. I don't have a lot of like, I have not worked with super glue a lot, so I will have to refine that first.
The smallest amount.
Okay. Okay, thank you so much.
And you're not trying to stick the two pieces of plastic together. You're trying to replace the threading. See what I'm saying?
Let me make sure I understand. So
Okay, so you have a strip hole that is supposed to have threads in it, and it has probably the remnants of threads in it. What you're doing is you're putting a little bit of glue over the hole, and then you're putting the screw in. Well, you're putting the whole thing together, and it might stick the two pieces of plastic together, but that's not your goal. Your goal is for that super glue to go along the threadings of the screw as you're putting it in, and then sticking to the plastic on the inside.
That's smart. Okay. Thanks for explaining. I've opened up things like Joy-Cons on Switches before and done stuff with them, no problem. I totally understand what you mean though with the like the pieces where the ribbons go in and then you have to click them, and that is a pain. I hate that. I opened up a pink DS earlier and seeing that tiny little, oh my god. I have a programming teacher, he looked at it and he said, I won't touch that.
Yeah, I swear, you look at those connectors too hard and they just fall apart.
Yeah, basically.
But as
and what's
to
nice
the
about
Joy-Con,
Joy-Con,
I'm much more likely to get out a solder sucker or some solder wick and remove the things and replace them than I am to try and fix the little joysticks. So yeah, I'm lazy in that way.
I mean, and then, like, what's the harm in if you accidentally mess something up on a Joy-Con? Honestly,
That's
you can
true.
just go
That's
get
true.
more. It just connects to the Switch. With the 3DS, if you mess it up, you don't have a 3DS anymore. Or you do, you just have a lot of more hassle, or at that point, if I was at that point, I would just give it to someone else to fix for me. um Someone who's been doing it, but I also know people don't want to do 3DSs because of that. So
Yeah, the hardware part of it. I don't. I was watching. Oh gosh, who was it today? On YouTube that does a lot of those. Give me just a second, and I will look him up. It's not the coder. It's not Joey. Joey does tech. Does some of them sometimes. Tronics Fix. Tronics Fix had a show today where he was fixing a whole bunch of 3DSs. Might want to check that out. I will actually put this link in the show notes,
okay.
and you can have Mordency grab it because he does good work. And he fixed. Well, I think he only made it through 6 of the 13 he has, but his next video is going to be the rest of them.
Hold on, he's confused.
Beneath my Reddit post, in purple, there's a YouTube link for Tronics Fix.
Okay, I will check out that video because that does seem interesting. I have seen people on YouTube like, here's this Game Boy I found in a dump for 25 years, and then they
Right.
fully take it apart, fix, and then they end up playing, Pokemon Yellow on it, and you're like, wow. Anyways, thank you so much. I really appreciate the input. I'm going to invest in a lot of super glue, I guess.
Like I said, it does not take much. The smallest amount that you can put on there, and try and get it in the hole instead of around the outside, because you definitely don't want to. You want to be able to take it apart and work on it again later.
Absolutely. Unfortunately, I've dug myself really deep, and I have about 4 or 5 different 2 and 3DS models to do, so all of them have some sort of internal issue, and it's going to be the biggest hassle.
Oh my
But-
gosh! Replacing the top screen, twisting the wires so you can slide it through the hinge, and then getting it slotted through that little slot and then getting it actually into the right ribbon connectors, yeah, no, thank you.
So I actually, there's a retro game store near where I live, and I bought the special edition pink DS, and I got it at a discount because it had dead pixels right center in the top screen. And I thought, okay, that'll be a project that's gonna suck really bad because you've got to heat that screen up and pry it off very carefully, put another one on, make sure the glue is warm so that it sticks, but not too warm, so that it bubbles and it's. But there was a trick where you put it in sleep mode, so you fold it over, leave it on until it dies in sleep mode, which could take days. Um, and then you turn it on, fully charge it, and then keep doing it. And I actually was able to get all those dead pixels out without opening it once.
I did not know that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, that's freaking cool. Yeah, that's freaking cool.
Yeah, I'm not sure if it works with 2DS models that don't fold. But I would assume it would work the same way because you can still put them in sleep mode.
I wonder how that works.
I have no idea. I'm assuming something with the power being on, but screen, I don't know. I mean, you could see the dead pixels without the system even being on. So it's really cool that they can just come out that easily without even. I mean, I'm sure if it was more severe, I would have had to have. But I got the system like over $50 cheaper because of it, and it was something I didn't even have to put any effort into.
Yeah. Yeah, it's always great buying things that other people think are broken and then, looking at them hard and making them work.
I went back thinking about like gifts for people. There's a new Nintendo 2DS XL. The back hinge seems where the screen folds up. It is open and pushed out, so that when you flip that top screen up, it only goes, up kind of like how you would have a laptop, and it will not go further. With the screen fully closed, you can see what's going on in that hinge bar. Then there's screen burn in the top corner. Because of that hinge being open, it's messing with the right side audio so that it crackles. And the way that those are built, it has this like ring of color around the top, and then there's a plate in the middle of whatever their main color is. The main plate is gone. And they're trying to sell it for $150. And I was like, there's not even anything online that would explain why the back hinge is fully exposed.
Somebody got creative with it?
Yeah, I don't know. It almost looked like something that you were supposed to be able to click in place, and someone had already opened it and didn't click it in place. But it was so severe, I almost feel like it almost looked like heat had warped it.
I tend to prefer working on PSPs.
Yeah, those are really cool.
The turnaround on them used to be pretty good. I mean, you used to be able to get them for like $20-$30 each, and then if you could fix them, you could turn around and sell them for $100-$150, depending on what you had done to them. I think I still have a listing somewhere for like $125 on them, but they got more expensive. Even the broken ones got more expensive, and they're not excessively hard to work on, and they're not as delicate as a 3DS.
Yeah, I really had probably made a mistake starting off with a Nintendo in every way.
Yeah, well, Switches if you're good with a heat gun, they look like they're okay to work on. But yeah, maybe the original Game Boy isn't as bad, but yeah, I don't like the idea of working on a 3DS again.
Yeah, this might end sooner than I expected. But I hope it doesn't because if you look up what the modded DSs are, and what I'm hoping is I can open them up, buy ones that are cheap. Here's my $10 new 3DS XL on Facebook Marketplace. And I fix it, and then mod it, and then sell it. I mean, the newest model that had come out already goes for about $400.
But the new 3DS XL?
Yes.
And they're fun to play. Once they're modded.
Agreed.
I love putting a Genesis emulator on there.
That's what I was going to ask. Like, what is it that the modding does? Because I'm a complete ignorant person when it comes to that stuff.
Well, it's a very much a soft mod, but it allows you to install Homebrew. And then that in turn allows you to install emulators, and there's already a multi-card out there that you can get that basically takes a 3DS cart and allows you to put a micro SD card in it, and then you put that in and you install and run the emulators, and then you can run emulated games. So I have a picture on Facebook of me running the Sega Genesis version of Shadowrun on a new 3DS XL. And being able to put a micro SD card on there that holds the entirety of the original Nintendo's library, always fun.
The 3DS reads gigs as blocks. I don't know the exact ratio, how many blocks is in a gig, but and I could be wrong here. I'm actually just gonna pull out my SD card and look at it. Okay, micro SD card. Yeah, so I have the 256, which is absurd. You don't ever need that much. Unless you want to put theoretically every game that came out for the DS and 3DS multiple times over. The maximum amount I can read is 999,999. I have not reached that yet. Like going over that, I don't know if I ever will. And I got mine at Walmart. And it was literally, I went to Target first. It was over $50 for the 256 micro SD card. Walmart had theirs for like $19. So for $19 I got like basically infinite storage. But yeah, there's ways you can put Sega, PlayStation. I don't know how far you can run them. Like I would only ever put PS1. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't ever remember putting PS1 games on there, but that would be pretty cool. And then if you could, I don't know if you can run PSP on the 3DS.
There is a website is dedicated to like 3DS mods, and one of the sidebars is PS1 games. You have to download certain software to be able to do it. That, and then Nintendo 64 as well. I know that it can happen, but I know it's a lot of work.
Nintendo 64 emulation on anything is hit or miss and requires a lot of per game tweaking. And yeah, it's definitely not easy to do. And because you get one game working doesn't mean you're going to get another game working. So, like 007 is one of those ones that's really, really difficult to get anything to emulate properly, even like a Raspberry Pi.
Right. The only model of the 3DS that has any kind of the C stick, if you're familiar with it, they made a Minecraft port to it because they made the C stick. That's why there's there's maybe like 4 new Nintendo 3DS exclusive games. And it's a real pain to work with. So imagine playing something like Mario 64 and the entire game, to look around you have to navigate with that tiny C stick in the corner of the DS.
I ended up getting a big long lecture from my son on the difference from Minecraft and Blockcraft. Like most of what is out there that isn't, attached to a Microsoft server is technically Blockcraft.
I did not know this either. Is it Blockcraft if it's marketed as Minecraft and it's an official Minecraft? Like, can it stay Blockcraft?
I would have to ask my son, but I don't feel like sitting through another lecture.
Fair. The other thing is when I got this pink DS, and I got it on sale. I got it before it had been modded, and it already had a lot of games paid for, downloaded when the eShop still worked. So if anyone is ever interested in, they don't always wipe them when they give them to you, so you can get good deals. And that, I'm not even saying just 3DS, is like anything you can download. I don't know, PlayStations, Xboxes. They, with my experience going to many different ones, they don't wipe them. Which is kind of
Which on some of your older systems, but a lot of your newer ones, if you're not regularly logging into the account, or if they change their password, then you would lose access.
Well, that sucks really bad.
Yeah.
Usually, if I get something like that, I usually just stick with whatever account is on it. I say that as if I've done this a million times, and I haven't, but the few times I have, I just kind of like, maybe I'm lucky because that means somebody had just turned it in and was playing on it. I don't know.
Well, like my dad gave my son his old Xbox One, and that had all his games on it and his account on it. But after a certain amount of time, I don't know if he changed his password or what happened, but we just lost access to everything. And because we weren't able to log into his account, we were no longer had access to his games.
That sucks so bad. I feel like every time I do something with Xbox, something like that happens. I was about to say Microsoft.
Hey, you're preaching to the choir here.
Yeah, I was just talking about how much I hate Minecraft to my mom, actually. And she was like, what? I like Microsoft. I was like,
Yeah, you won't hear anybody on this show say that. But the only good thing that has come out of Microsoft is OneNote.
I am not familiar.
It's a very robust note-taking tool.
Okay. Okay, I'm being shown OneNote currently.
The only thing that came close was Evernote, and Evernote kind of went paid, and yeah, I need it on more than just 3 machines.
Okay, I've learned about OneNote. It seems useful, shockingly.
Yeah.
Anyways, I'm probably gonna hop off. Wonderful speaking with you. And I look forward to trying out this super glue trick, and I will let Mordency tell you guys how it works. Because I'm probably gonna do this tomorrow or something.
Just remember, super glue tends to take about 24 hours to properly cure.
Let me rephrase. I will start tomorrow.
Okay. It was good talking to you.
Yeah, good talking to you.
Have a good night.
Yeah, dude.